Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. I have combined all the videos in our YouTube video gallery series into the single long video so that it's easy for you to follow. Now in this video, we are basically going to create this video gallery of YouTube videos from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And here we can see we have these three videos over here, and if I click on any of these videos, that video will be displayed over here. And we can go ahead and click on play, and it will play in the YouTube player embedded over here. And this is also responsive, so if I decrease the width of the screen, this is how it will look on different screen sizes. And we have a different layout for this screen size, and then lastly we have a different layout for the smartphones. So this is what we're going to design in this video, and I will also leave the link of the source code in the description, and in the end I will also show you how to add this to your Blogger website. So let's get started. So this is how it works. We can see that there are three videos over here, and when we hover over this, we have this hover effect where we have the play icon displayed over here, and we have these three videos over here. By default, the first video is displayed over here, and this is basically a YouTube player. And if I click on this play button, we can see that the YouTube video starts playing, and we can go ahead and access these play controls over here. And we also have the option of watching it on YouTube, and all the other options that we have on YouTube are displayed over here. And then we can see that there are other videos over here as well. So if I click on the second video, this is the full video for portfolio website. Now we can see that that video is displayed over here, and if I click on play, the video plays. And then we have the third video, and if I click on that, we have the third video displayed over here, and we can play it. So in this way you can add more videos if you want over here. I'll just show you how to design this layout over here where we have these three videos, and when we click on any of these videos, the video will be displayed over here in the YouTube player, and we can go ahead and play that. And you can also click on this full screen button to view this video in full screen mode. Right here I have created this folder called YouTube Video Gallery, and I just opened it with VS Code. And here I also have a folder called Images, and in that we have these thumbnails of the videos. And then we have this play icon. So we're going to use these in our design. Right, let's go ahead and start creating the necessary files. So let's create a new file, and let's name it index.html. And let's create another file, and let's name it style.css. And let's create one more file for the JavaScript. Let's name it main.js. Let's start with the index.html file. Now in VS Code you have this shortcut where you can just press exclamation and press tab, and you'll have this basic HTML5 code. Right, let's link our CSS file over here. So let's type link and press tab, and in the href I'll just type style.css, and in the body let's link our JavaScript file. So let's type script:/src, and in the src I'll just type main.js. Right, now let's start with the markup of our YouTube video gallery. The first thing we will do is we'll create a container division, and we'll give it a class of video gallery container. Now in this we need to have this title. So here we can see we have this title over here. So the first thing we will do is add the title. So let's create an h2, and let's give it a class of title, and let's type the title over here. So we have the title best videos on designing. Alright, that's it with the title. Now the next thing we need to have is this section over here where we have the video displayed when we click on any of these videos. So we'll just call it featured video. Now for this section and this section we'll create a container division, and let's give it a class of video gallery. And let's create a division with the class of featured video. Now in this division we will add the YouTube iframe. So let's go to Live Blogger YouTube channel, and if you haven't subscribed you can just subscribe to this channel. And let's go ahead and get the URL of a video. So the first video is this video right here. So here we can see this is the first video. So let's see how to embed this into our design. So for that you have to go into this video. So let's open this video in a new tab. Right, here's the video. Now the next thing you have to do is click on this share button, and then you have to click on embed, and here we can see we have the code to embed this video into our web page. So let's click on this, and let's click on copy, and let's go back to our VS Code, and let's add the iframe over here. Now you can go ahead and change the height and the width of this iframe. Just make sure that you're in the correct aspect ratio of the video. This video is in the aspect ratio 16:9. Alright, then we have the source of the video, and then we have the title, and we have these options allowed in this iframe. Now below this iframe we need to have this title, so let's create an S3 for that, and let's give it a class of video title, and here we'll just add the title. So I'll just copy this title from here, I'll just copy it from here, and let's go ahead and paste it over here. Right now let's open this in our browser and let's see how it looks. So I have this extension called Live Server installed in VS Code. So once you install that, you can just right click over here in the HTML and click on Open with Live Server. And here we can see our design is displayed over here in the browser. So we have the title, we have the YouTube video, and we have the title of the video. Right now let's design these sections over here, these 3 videos. So for that, let's go outside this featured video division, and let's create a division with the class of all videos. Now in this, for each of the video, let's create a division with the class of video. So let's tap video. Now in this we need to have the thumbnail of the video. So let's create an img tag, and in the img tag let's add the source of the image. So we have the images inside the images folder, and in that we have the thumbnail 1.jpg, 2.jpg, and 3.jpg. So in the src let's type images / thumbnail 1.jpeg, and this is the first thumbnail. And we also need to have this play icon on top of the thumbnails, so let's add that as well. So here after the image, let's create a division with the class of play icon, and in that let's add an img, and here I'll just type images / play icon.png. Now we have 2 images over here, we have the play icon image and also the thumbnail. So let's add a class for the thumbnail image so that we can style it in the CSS. So let's give it a class of thumbnail. Right now let's copy this video division and let's paste it 2 more times. And the second video has a thumbnail of thumbnail 2.jpg, and then we have thumbnail 3.jpg. Right, that's basically it with the HTML of our design. So let's go back to our browser, and this is how it looks right now. We have the thumbnails of the images over here. We need to style everything to make it look better. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we have already linked our style.css file. So let's go to our style.css file and let's start styling this. The first thing we will do is style the video gallery container, which is the container division. So we have this class video gallery container. So let's type video gallery container, and we will set a width of 900 pixels, and we'll set the font family to Roboto and sans serif. We'll also add a background color of FFD166, and we'll also set a padding to the top. So let's tap padding of 8 pixels and 000 for left, right, and bottom. And let's go back to our browser, and here we can see this is the video gallery container. Let's also bring this to the center. So let's tap margin and 0 for top and bottom and auto for left and right. Now it is exactly in the center. Let's also set the box sizing to border box so that we have the correct width and height for all the elements. So let's tap video gallery container and video gallery container asterisk for selecting all the elements, and let's tap box sizing border box. Right now the next thing we will do is we will style this title right here. So let's type video gallery container h2.title, and first of all let's align it to the center. So let's tap text align center, and let's set the font weight to 300, and we'll set the text transform to uppercase, and let's set the font size to 34 pixels, and we'll also add a margin bottom of 24 pixels. Right now let's style the video gallery division, which is this division right here, where we have the featured video and all videos. So let's tap video gallery container, and we have a division with the class of video gallery. So let's tap video gallery, and the first thing we will do is we will set the display to flex so that both these elements are one next to the other. We want the featured video division on the left and the all videos division on the right. So let's type display of flex, and we'll also add a background color. So let's type background, and let's set the background color to 02151E, and let's also add some padding. So let's type padding of 16 pixels, And for the top we will have some more padding, so let's type padding top and let's set it to 24 pixels. And we'll also have some gap between these elements, so let's type gap and let's set the gap to 24 pixels. And we'll also set the color of the text to white, so let's type color of white. Right now let's style this title. So for the title we have this S3 with the class of video title. So let's type video gallery S3 with the class of video title, and let's set the line height to 1.6, and we'll set the font weight to 700, and we'll also set the font size to 24 pixels. I think we can decrease the font size a little bit, so let's set it to 20 pixels, and I think that looks alright. Right now let's style all these thumbnail images. So for the thumbnail images we have img tags with a class of thumbnail. So let's target these. Here I'll just type video gallery thumbnail, and let's set the height of the thumbnail to 120 pixels, and we'll also set the cursor to pointer. And here we can see all the thumbnails are displayed over here, and we'll also bring everything to the center. So here in the video gallery, let's type justify content center. Now here we can see that the width of this title is more than this video. So if you go back to the HTML, here we can see for the iframe we have a width of 560 pixels. So let's add a width of 560 pixels to the title. So let's go to our style.css file, and here in the video title let's type width of 560 pixels, and now we can see it looks alright. Now let's style this play icon so that it is on top of these thumbnail images, and for that we need to set the position of this play icon relative to this video division over here. So if you go back to the HTML, here we can see we have this division with the class of video, and in that we have the thumbnail and also the play icon. So we'll set the position of the play icon relative to this video. So let's target the video. So let's type video gallery video, and we'll set the position to relative. And now let's target the play icon. So for that we have a division with the class of play icon. So let's type video gallery play icon, and let's set the position to absolute, and we'll set the top position to 50% and the left position to 50%. And now we can see it starts from the center. Now we want it to be positioned exactly in the center. So for that we have to type translate, and we have to set it to -50% for the x and the y axis. And now we can see it is exactly in the center. And we'll also decrease the size of this image. So let's target the image. So let's type video gallery video img, and let's set the height to 50 pixels and also the width to 50 pixels. And here we can see that the height and the width of all the images have changed, so we have to target the specific play icon image. So let's type play icon over here. Right now we can see we have the correct height and width. Now when you hover over this, we don't have the cursor. So what we'll do is we'll just remove the pointer events from this play icon. So here let's type pointer events and let's set it to none. And now if you hover over this, we can see that it doesn't affect our mouse pointer. Right now the last thing we need to do is we need to show these play icons only when we hover over these video divisions over here. So here we can see it is only displayed when we hover over these thumbnails. And we also have some gap between these videos. So let's add that gap as well. So if you go back to our HTML file, here we can see we have this division with the class of all videos. So let's target that. Here I'll just type video gallery all videos, and let's set the display to flex, and we'll set the flex direction to column, and we'll also add a gap of 8 pixels. Right now let's add the hover effect. So we need to add the hover effect to the video division. So this is the video division. So it is inside these all videos division. So let's type video gallery video colon hover, and when we hover over this we need to add the styles to the play icon. So let's tap play icon, and here by default for the play icon, let's set the opacity to 0, and we'll also add a transition so that we have smooth animation. So let's set a transition of opacity 400 milliseconds ease, and here for the play icon, let's type opacity and let's set it back to 1. Now let's hover over these videos, and we don't have the transition being added. That's because we have a typo over here. We need to type transition. Right now we can see everything looks alright. So that's basically it with the design of our YouTube gallery. Now when we click on one of these thumbnails, the video should be displayed over here. So for that we need to get the URL of the video, and let's go to our source code, and here we can see in the HTML, this is the division with the class of featured video, and in that we have this iframe, and here we can see we have an attribute called source, and in that we have this YouTube video URL. Now here you can add an option to show just the related videos of the current channel. So for that you can just type $rel equals 0, and if I do that, and if I go back to our YouTube player, and if I click on play, and if I click on pause once again, we can see that all the related videos are from the live blogger channel. So you can add rel equals 0 if you want to have just your videos displayed over here in the related section. Alright, now if you take a look at this URL, we can see that we have an ID over here of the video. So this is the video ID. Now let's go back to YouTube and let's open the video. So this is the video. Let's open the video over here. So this is the video. Let's open it. Right now here we can see we have this ID STQX and this ID right here. So we have the same ID over here in this embed URL. Now we can make use of this format and we can add different videos over here. So if I add an ID of a different video over here, that video will be embedded over here in our video player. So now what we will do is we will add a data attribute to all the thumbnails. So data attributes are basically used to store some data inside the tags. So here we have this img tag with a class of thumbnail. So these are all the thumbnails over here. Now we need to store the data of the video ID over here inside these tags. And we also need to store the title of the videos. So here for the first thumbnail, this is the first thumbnail. So for that we need to have this video ID. So let's copy this and let's go back to our VS Code and let's add a data attribute. So we can just type data hyphen and just add the name. We'll just name it ID. And let's set it equal to this video ID. And we also need to add the title. So let's type data hyphen title equals, and this is the title of the video. So let's copy this title and let's paste it over here. So that's it with the data attributes of the first image. Now let's go to the second thumbnail, and here we will add the ID and the title. So let's go back to our channel and let's get the second video. So this is the second video, portfolio website. So this is the video. Let's open this, and here we can see this is the video ID. So let's copy this and let's go back, and here for the second image let's type data hyphen ID equals, and let's paste it over here, and let's also add the title. So let's type data hyphen title equals, and let's go back to our video and let's copy this title from here. Let's copy it from here and let's paste it over here. Now we have the last thumbnail, which is right here. So let's type data hyphen ID, and let's go back to our video gallery, and the third video is this one right here. So let's get the video ID, and this is the video. Let's open this and let's copy this video ID, and let's go back to VS Code and let's paste it over here, and let's also add the title. So let's type data hyphen title equals, and let's copy this title from here and I'll just paste it over here. Alright, now the next thing we will do is we will add the JavaScript to display the correct videos over here. So for that we will use the data attributes of ID and title. Now to do that we need to get some elements from the HTML. So we need to reference some of these elements. We need to reference the iframe because we need to change the source, and then we need to reference all these thumbnails. So we have the image with the class of thumbnail. So we need to reference all these three thumbnails over here. And if you scroll down, we can see that we have already linked our main.js file. So we have this iframe over here inside the featured video class, which is inside video gallery. And for all the thumbnails, we have a class of thumbnails. So let's go to main.js file and let's type const video thumbnails equals document.querySelector all, because there are multiple thumbnails. And let's type video gallery all videos thumbnail. Now all the thumbnails will be stored inside this video thumbnails constant. Right now let's reference the iframe, so let's type const and we'll just name it video player equals document.querySelector, and it is inside video gallery featured video, and we have an iframe. Now the next thing we will do is we will add event listeners to all these video thumbnails. So there are multiple video thumbnails over here, so let's use a for each loop. I'll just type video thumbnails dot for each, and for each of the video thumbnail I'll just call it v, and let's create an arrow function over here, and in here I'll just type v, which is the single video thumbnail, and let's add an event listener. So let's type add event listener, and we will listen for the click event, and let's create an arrow function over here. Now here we will call a function to show the video. So I'll just create a function called show video, and I'm just calling it over here. We'll just create it in a moment. Now in this show video function, we need to pass two arguments. The first one is the ID and the second one is the title. So we have both these data attributes over here. Now to access these data attributes, you can just type v, which is the video thumbnail, dot dataset dot the name of the data attribute. So the first one is ID, and let's type v dot dataset dot title. So here we can see we have the ID and title, so we need to use the same names over here. Right now let's create the show video function. So let's type const show video, and here for the video ID we'll just receive it as video ID, and for the title we'll just receive it as title. Right now let's create a variable to store the video URL. So let's type video URL equals. Now we're going to append this video ID URL into this video URL string. So for that we will use backticks, and let's go back to our HTML file, and this is an example of the source. So let's copy this and let's paste it over here. Now instead of this ID right here, we need to add the ID that we get from this function call. So I'll just delete this ID, and let's type $symbol and curly braces, and here we just add video ID. Right now that we have the video URL, let's add the video URL to the source of the video player, which is the iframe. So let's type video player dot set attribute, and we need to set the attribute of src. So let's type src over here, and for the second parameter let's type video URL. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to update the video title. So let's also reference the video title. Let's go to the index.html file, and for the video title we have an s3 with the class of video title. So let's type const video title equals document.querySelector video gallery video title, and here we'll just type video title dot inner HTML equals title. Right now let's see whether it works. So let's go back to our website, and let's click on the second video, and we have the second video displayed over here, and let's click on play, and we have the video playing over here, and we also have the change in the title. So this is the first title and we have the second title over here. Let's click on the third video, and we have the third video displayed over here, and we can play that, and we also have the title updated. So everything is working alright. So that's basically how you can create a YouTube video gallery using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So right now if I decrease the width of the screen, this is how it looks. It doesn't match the screen width of our browser, so it doesn't look good on smaller devices. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to make it responsive so that it will work good on all screen sizes. Right here I'm in the source code, so let's go to the style.css file, and the first thing we will do is we'll create a media query. So we will create a media query for a max width of 900 pixels. So for that you have to type @media and max width of, let's type 900 pixels. And first of all, let's test whether this media query works. So I'll just select all elements and set the display to none. So if I just decrease the width of the screen, now we can see when we are less than 900 pixels, the video gallery is not being displayed. So now we know that the media query is working alright. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to set the width of the video gallery container. So if you scroll up, we can see that we have set a width of 900 pixels for the video gallery container. Now we have to set a flexible width for the video gallery container. So for that, let's scroll down over here, and here we will select the video gallery container. So I'll just type video gallery container, and let's set the width to 100%. So it will adapt to the width of the window. So now let's go ahead and decrease the width of the browser. And now we can see that the width of the video gallery container stays 100% even if you decrease the width over here. And if you go greater than 900 pixels, we can see that it has a fixed width of 900 pixels. So it is working alright. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to set the width of this iframe, and we also have to set the width of this heading. So let's go back to our CSS. And here if you scroll up, we can see that we have set a fixed width of 560 pixels for the video title. That's because we have a width of 560 pixels in the iframe. So if you go to the HTML file, here we can see for the iframe we have a width of 560 pixels. So what we'll do is we'll set the width to 100%. And let me just add a background color. And we can see that we have the correct width. So let's remove this. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to set the height and the width of this iframe. Now if you go back to the HTML, here we can see that we have a fixed width of 560 pixels and a fixed height of 315 pixels. Now this is basically an aspect ratio of 16:9. So basically the width and the height are related. So if we change the width, we also have to change the height, and vice versa. Now we cannot do that directly in CSS, so we have to use a trick. The first thing you have to do is we have to add this iframe inside a division. So let's create a division and let's give it a class of responsive iframe. And let's add this iframe inside this division. Right now let's go to our CSS file, and let's target the container. So here I'll just type video gallery responsive iframe. And first of all, we have to set the position to relative. And the next thing you have to do is set the height to 0. And we'll also set the overflow to hidden. And now we have to set a padding bottom and padding top. Now we have to set this according to the aspect ratio. So right now we have an aspect ratio of 16:9 for the videos. So for that you have to type 56.25% as the padding top. And for padding bottom, you have to type 30 pixels. And now you have to target the iframe inside the responsive iframe. So let's type video gallery responsive iframe. And here you have to set the position to absolute. And you have to set the top position to 0 and the left position to 0. And the width to 100%. And the height to 100%. Now this will make our iframe responsive and also have the correct aspect ratio of 16:9. So let's go back to our Chrome, and now we can see we have the correct width for our iframe. Let's decrease the width even more, and we have the correct width. So now we can see that the iframe is working alright. Now we will add one more media query so that when we are less than a certain amount of width, we need to bring all these videos down over here, and we need to bring this featured video division, and we will increase the width and set it to 100% of the video gallery container. So let's go back to our CSS and let's add one more media query. So let's type @media, and this time we will have a media query of 700 pixels. So let's type max width 700 pixels. Right now if we go back to the HTML file and if we scroll up, we can see that we have this division with the class of video gallery, and in that we have this division with the class of featured video, and below that we have a division with the class of all videos. So we have these two divisions inside the video gallery division. And if you go to the style.css file and if you scroll up, here we can see for the video gallery we have set a display of flex. So that's the reason why we have these elements one next to the other. So we have the featured video on the left and all videos division on the right. Now what we need to do is we need to change the direction of the flex. So let's copy this selector and let's scroll down and let's paste it over here. And let's set the flex direction to column. And let's go back and let's decrease the width. And now we can see that the featured video division is at the top and all videos division is at the bottom. Now for this all videos division, let's display two thumbnails in a row. So here we can see in the HTML we have this division with the class of all videos, and in that we have these divisions with class of video. And we have three divisions over here with class of video. Now what we will do is we will set the display of the all videos to grid. So let's go back and here let's type video gallery, all videos, and let's set the display to grid. Now we have to specify how many columns are there in this grid. So let's type grid template columns and let's set it to 1FR, which means 2 rows with the same width. And now let's go back to our browser and here we can see there are 2 thumbnails in a row. Now we'll also increase the width of these thumbnails. So if we scroll up, here we can see for the thumbnail we have set a height of 120 pixels. So let's unset the height. So let's scroll down and let's type video gallery thumbnail and let's set the height to unset and let's set a width of 100%. Right now let's open the browser and now we can see we have full width for these thumbnails and it looks alright. Right now let's add one last media query and it will be for smartphones. So let's type @media and let's type max width and let's set it to 500 pixels. And what we're going to do over here is that we will set the grid template columns to 1FR, which means 1 column. So let's copy this and let's paste it over here and let's just remove display grid and here I'll just type 1FR. And now we can see we just have one thumbnail in a row, and we'll also set a max width for the video gallery container. So let's type video gallery container and let's set a max width of 400 pixels and that looks alright. Let's also decrease the font size. Now for the main title we have this h2 with the class of title inside video gallery container. So let's type video gallery container h2 title and let's set the font size to 24 pixels and we'll also set the font weight to bold. And now we can see it looks alright. Let's also check whether this works. So let's click on the second video and now we can see that the second video is displayed over here. Let's click on the third video and the third video is displayed over here and everything looks alright in all screen sizes. So that's basically how you make this video gallery responsive. Right here I'm in the dashboard of my Blogger website and we can add this video gallery inside a post or a page. Let's add it inside a post. If you want to add it inside a page, you can just go to pages and click on new page. But here I'll just add it inside a post. So here we are in posts. So let's click on new post and let's give our post a name. Let's name it video gallery. And the first thing you have to do over here is that switch into the HTML view. So by default it will be in the compose view. So just click on this button and click on HTML view. And now here we can add the HTML, the CSS and the JavaScript. So let's go to our source code and this is the source code. So the first thing we will do is add the CSS. So let's go to style.css file and let's copy all of this CSS from here and let's go back and paste it over here inside a style tag. So I'll just create a style tag and here I'll just paste the CSS. Right, the next thing we will do is paste the HTML. So let's make some space over here, and let's go back to our source code, and let's go to the HTML file, and let's paste everything inside the body. So let's start from here and till here, and let's paste it over here. And the last thing we need to paste is the JavaScript. So let's create a script tag, and let's go back to our source code. Let's go to the main.js file, and let's copy all of this JavaScript from here, and let's paste it over here. Right now we need to make some changes in our source code. So here we can see these are all the links and the thumbnail images and all of those things over here. Now you can go ahead and make the necessary changes over here. So this is basically the iframe by default, so this one right here. So at the beginning we have the first video displayed over here. So this is the embed URL of the first video. Now this is the ID of the video. So if you go to any YouTube post, you will find an ID of the video in the URLs. So you can just copy and paste the ID and paste it instead of this ID right here. So in this way you can customize this for your video galleries. And here you can change the title of the default video. And then these are thumbnails. So here you can go ahead and add the links of your thumbnail images. So right now we can see that the source says images/thumbnail1.jpeg. But in our Blogger website we don't have this folder called images, and we also don't have this JPG file. So the first thing we need to do is upload these images into Blogger, or upload it anywhere on any server and just get the link and paste it over here. We'll just upload it over here in the Blogger post itself. So here after the style tag, I'll just make some space, and let's go over here to this button called insert image, and let's click on upload from computer, and here you have to click on choose files, and here we can see these are the images in our project. So we have the play icon and all these 3 thumbnail images. So let's select all of these and let's click on open. And let's select all these images and click on select. And now here I'll just select original size and click on OK. Right now here we can see we have all these images added inside our post. Now here we can see we have a specific structure for the images. We have a div with a class of separator and all these things over here. We don't want any of these, we just want the URL of the image. So here in the href we can find the URL. So this is the URL of the play icon. So let's copy this URL from here inside the href, and let's scroll down and let's find the play icon image. So here we can see this is the first play icon image. So here when we hover over this we can see this icon. So this is the play icon. So let's delete this source from here and let's paste our current URL. Now we need to have the play icon in 2 other places as well. So let's paste it over here. This is the second play icon. And then lastly we have it over here. Right now let's go ahead and copy and paste the thumbnails. So here we need to have the first thumbnail. So let's scroll up and let's find the URL of the first thumbnail. So here we can see this is the second division with the class of separator, and in that we have this anchor tag, and this is the link of the first thumbnail. So let's copy it and let's scroll down and paste it over here in the first thumbnail. So here in the src I'll just replace this with the current URL. Let's scroll up and find the second thumbnail image. So this is the second thumbnail image. I'll just copy this and let's paste it over here in the second thumbnail src. And then lastly we have the third thumbnail. So let's copy this and let's scroll down and paste it over here. So this is the third thumbnail. Right, that's it with all the images in our post. Now let's go ahead and delete all these images. We don't need them anymore. Right, now let's go ahead and click on publish and let's see whether everything works alright. And let's click on confirm. Right, here we can see our post has been published. Let's click on view. And here we can see our video gallery is being displayed over here. But we have some problems in the CSS. The first issue is that we don't have the correct width for this video gallery container. And the next one is that we don't have the correct font weight. So here we can see we have a font weight of 300, but here we don't have the correct font weight, and we also don't have the correct color, and even here we don't have the correct color. Right here I'm in fonts.google.com, and you can just go to the Roboto font which we are using in our design. If you don't find this font, you can just search it over here, and we need to get two types of styles from here. So let's go back to our source code and let's go to the style.css file, and here we need to get, for the title we need to get this font weight of 300, and then we also need to get a bold font size. So let's go back and let's select light 300, and let's also select a bold font. So let's select this one right here, bold 700, and let's click on view selected families, and here we can get the link for the HTML and also the CSS. Let's get the CSS link, so let's click on import, and we can add this inside the style tag. So let's copy this and let's paste it inside our post. So here inside the CSS, let's add the import link. And now we also need to change the color. So for the main heading, we need to change the color to black. So here this is the main heading. So let's change the color to black. And for the video title, we need to change the color to white. So here for the video title, let's type color and let's set it to white. And we also had to change the width of this main container. So if we take a look at this, you can see that we have set a width of 900 pixels. So let's change this and let's set it to 100%. And let's click on update. And let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page. And now we can see we have the correct font weight and the color and also the correct width. Now let's decrease the width and let's see how it looks on smaller screen sizes. And the media queries are working alright, but we have some problems in the width of these thumbnails. So what we will do is we will set a fixed width for these thumbnails. So let's go back to our post and let's go to the thumbnail selector, and here we have already set a height. So let's remove this and we need to set a fixed width. So let's go back to our post and let's right click over here and click on inspect. And let's see what is the correct width we need to have. So let's tab width and let's set it to, let's try 200 pixels. And I think 240 pixels looks alright. Alright, we can go with 240 pixels. So let's go back to our post, and here for the thumbnail, let's set a width of 240 pixels. And if you scroll down for the other screen sizes, we are already changing the width. So here we can see for the thumbnail, we are setting a width of 100% in max width of 700 pixels. So we don't need to worry about that. Now here in this media query of 900 pixels, we are just setting the width to 100% for the video gallery container, which we are already doing over here. So we have just now changed the width to 100%. So we can now just remove this media query. Right now let's click on update. And now let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page. And now we can see everything looks alright. Alright, so that's basically how you add a responsive video gallery to your Blogger website. Now I will leave the link of the source code in the description of this video, and if you have any doubts you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.